Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Wednesday, September 15th, 2021. Yes, it's the hump day of the month, halfway into the month, well, roughly halfway into the month of September. And Bitcoin turning up. Yeah, here we are clawing our way back up. Apparently testing all the late shorters out. Of course, that crazy dump from last week probably wiped out a lot of people longing, and now here we are, probably preparing to continue this move up and wipe out anybody who shorted this extra long, or extra late, I should say. Of course, Bitcoin's up a little over 10% in the last 48 hours or so. So this is indeed a solid move to test up, as we've been discussing on the show, guys. And yeah, Ethereum in the markets and the alts following closely behind. It is indeed looking quite a bit more bullishly postured, but it still seems like we got a ways to go. But the test of 50K, once again from below, looks like it's back on the cards, guys. Exciting price action to discuss this Wednesday, as always. We've got two of our analysts here that are going to head that up in just a few minutes. Jason and Alex are with us this afternoon. How you guys doing?
All right, thank you.
Excellent.
Yep, I'm doing well. Had a good morning, good workout. Excited to get into the charts.
Indeed. We do have quite a few charts to explore today. As usual, we are going to be getting, of course, into the news today, guys. This show is going to run 90 minutes. We'll go from that news into a look at the bubbles today before we, of course, shout out our audience. Then we're going to get into the main TA rundown. We'll do a daily scan, as always, with Alex heading that up today. before, of course, we open the chest up about an hour into the show and then get into requests. So, let's do it, guys. Thank you, everybody who's here, as always. I'm just going to make a couple quick adjustments right here, and one more adjustment right here. Okay, brilliant. Let's keep it rolling. All right, so I have one news item here I'm going to quickly mention, and that is, of course, the headline, Bitcoin jumps on China's Lehman Brothers. All right, well, I already talked about Bitcoin's 10% move since Monday, but one of the numerous factors apparently that might be weighing in on Bitcoin's move to the upside. Guys, have you heard about this Evergrande disaster that's being dubbed China's Lehman Brothers? Yes, indeed. Here is a piece from Reuters talking about China's Evergrande liquidity crisis deepens. Let's have a look here. China's major banks have been notified by the Housing Authority that Evergrande Group won't be able to repay loan interest due September 20th, Bloomberg reported. And of course, Evergrande, I think, is a very, very large property developer, and I think they have some kind of default in the tune of $80+ billion that's looming over them. This could be a big meltdown. It could be a lot of risk, systemic risk, so to speak, with the collapse of this firm. I hear this development firm, this property firm. This could be the beginning of China's big property meltdown. Some people are speculating. Indeed, this could be a '08 Lehman Brothers type moment for China, guys. So we'll see. We'll see. I think in Alex's analysis. Alex is, of course, scan major markets. Curious to see how China is reacting to this, how the major markets are reacting to this. Bitcoin, as this first article here tries to, some people trying to say that this Bitcoin's move to the upside might be a result of some looming financial catastrophe being sparked by this Chinese meltdown.
Seems pretty suspect.
Indeed. But yeah, we still have, of course, a thesis here that we might very well march up a bit, might test up, and then still come very much down. Heck, if this China thing melts down the markets, we see what happened during the last market-wide meltdown. Yes, it dragged Bitcoin down dramatically with it. That would kind of coincide perfectly with this with this thesis that's been bandied around on the show in recent days, guys. Test the 50, maybe 54 before, as Jason targets the 20s. Yes, could we see a giant 50, another 50% dip in this market? Heck, yeah, maybe if we get another crazy meltdown on the back of this Chinese disaster. All right, well, let's keep it going, guys, unless Alex has something to add on the topic of Evergrande. All right, this another piece comes from U.Today. Sotheby's will accept a Bitcoin or Ethereum for a $6 million diamond necklace. All right, well, of course, this.
Anything, please buy it.
Indeed.
We'll take Doge.
Nothing has poor resale value, I find, than I think high-end jewelry like diamond necklaces and this type of stuff. Sotheby's is
like cars; they immediately lose like 30% of their value as soon as you take it out of the store.
Pretty much, it is very, very poor resale value for a lot of custom chains and all that. But let's have a look. Sotheby's is auctioning off a diamond necklace designed by iconic jewelry maker Harry Winston. Oh, okay, so this is definitely a significant piece from Harry Winston. Prospective buyer will be able to pay for the masterpiece with crypto, choosing between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USD coin. Purchase will be facilitated by Coinbase Commerce, the e-commerce arm, of course, of the U.S. largest exchange, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's still an interesting moment in time. It's a very small footnote, I think, in Bitcoin and crypto's history, but nonetheless, Sotheby's, of course, famous auction house, which has in recent months dabbled with another kind of big milestone for the industry, and that is, of course, listing and auctioning NFT, rare NFT art on their platform to, I guess, big pocket, deep pocket. Bidders, and in this case, well, now it's kind of going in the other direction. The crypto world meets Sotheby's as payments. So there you go, guys. You're, I guess, flush with Bitcoin or Ethers. Consider, and you always wanted an iconic piece from Harry Winston. Maybe consider hitting up Sotheby's. Might be a trend for the future. This is one way of maybe laundering our fat gains, right, guys? Thumbs up on the Sotheby's auction block. All right. let's continue. Here's a piece from Block Crypto talking about Bittrex global CEO, talking about how the exchange is exploring safe havens in light of regulatory tightening. Yes, this is an ongoing trend in the space. A crackdown continues, it seems, around the globe on many exchanges. Exchanges for years have seemed to have operated in a bit of a regulatory gray zone. Seemingly headquartered neither here nor there, somewhere maybe in the Caribbean, some Caribbean destination, or Hong Kong, or wherever else. And I guess the latest one, I guess this is indeed a blog post, but let's have a look here. Bittrex Global CEO Stefan Stromberg joined the host of this podcast here, and they talked about his outlook on security tokens, company tackling regulatory tightening, an effort for safety across markets in the world, blah, 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 blah. And he told them how, Bittrex is basically working on playing nice with regulators, including potentially migrating operations to somewhere where, there's regulatory clarity and so forth. It goes to show you what's on the mind of many of these exchanges, guys. Man, what a crunch. What a regulatory crunch. How far will they have to go to find safe haven? Very, very interesting times we live in, and Bittrex is a bit of an OG alt exchange, but one of those that, I don't know, I feel like the time might be ticking on many of these exchanges if we do see some great regulatory shakeup. But indeed, he did appear on this The Scoop, this podcast by the Block Crypto. Check that out, guys, if you want to hear some insights from him. Links, as always, will be below in the description. All right, here's an interesting piece. All right, I'm going to hide this for now. I want to get into this piece here. OpenSea confirms executive used insider knowledge when buying NFTs. Yes, apparently some OpenSea insider did use some inside information to make some interesting gains. Let's have a look what this piece is about. One of the non-fungible token space's biggest marketplaces has admitted that a senior employee has been getting the drop on most of its popular releases. Twitter users last night accused Nate Chastain, head of product at OpenSea, of using a secret Ethereum wallet to snap up the platform's front page NFT drops before the general release. Citing transactional data on Etherscan, Twitter user Zuu said that Chastain seems to be selling these pieces, quote, shortly after the front page hype spikes for profits. His actions have been likened to front-running or insider trading, which is, of course, regulated within financial markets, and it refers to dealing with insider information that is not yet public. On September 15th, OpenSea published a blog post acknowledging Chastain's actions. Here it is, guys. I'll leave the description below. Employee information used at OpenSea, blah, blah, blah. Quote, yesterday we learned that one of our employees purchased items that they knew were set to display on our front page before they appeared there publicly. This is incredibly disappointing. We want to be clear, this behavior does not represent our values as a team. We are taking this very seriously and are conducting an immediate and thorough review of this incident so we have a full understanding of the facts and additional steps we need to take. Companies rolled out new policies specifying team members may not buy or sell from collections while they are being promoted and cannot use confidential information to purchase or sell NFTs. And of course, this topic goes into explaining how it was discovered. The accusation caused quite a stir. Some users highlighted the tweet in which he appeared to admit to snapping up an NFT from a collection by an artist ahead of the public drop. I just wanted to get one of these before they all disappeared. To be honest, he wrote at the time, but apparently people did some digging and they figured out that this guy has been, in fact, front running in a sense. I don't know how else to describe it. This is basically front running.
The wallet, the activity.
Yep. Everything's recorded on the blockchain. People can certainly.
Hounds out here.
Indeed, they are sleuthing.
They're on to Alex too.
Yeah, they were sleuthing Alex pretty hard. But hey, this is the public blockchain, guys. This is the kind of forensics analysis you can do in this space. And so this guy, I guess, is fired.
Forensic files.
Yeah, fired and looks like a bit of an asshole. So nice job, buddy. You just torpedoed, I think, your career. Well, maybe this space is so hungry for talent and people with experience that he may find another job somewhere else. But on the other flip side, I don't know. You also that guy who got fired from OpenSea for insider trading. So good luck, maybe getting back into the space. He looked like an asshole. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Yep. Here is one tweet breaking it down. You can see the address is here and some of the profits all outlined in this nice Twitter post here, breaking down how much advantage this guy took of it. And you know what? Not a lot, not an insane amount. Seeing how much money is being made hand over fist on some of these NFTs over the last while, this guy actually, I think he made away relatively
70K.
conservatively. Yeah. Made away not too crazy. Let's have a look here. The Walmart Litecoin. This will be the last story for today, guys. We're going to get into the next segment, I think, right after this. Yes, this comes from Crypto Potato. The Walmart Litecoin troll could face major criminal charges if busted. Did you guys hear about this Walmart Litecoin troll news? You hear about this?
I'm hearing
Yes,
that
I
was the
did.
reason for the
That's
price action.
because- Yeah,
Yep.
that's why Litecoin pumped yesterday.
Indeed.
Briefly.
Yes, briefly, Litecoin did in fact pump yesterday, guys. Were you wondering why? Well, there was some fake news that went around. Someone made a lot of money spreading fake news of a partnership between Litecoin and Walmart. But what could be the cost if they were busted? Yes, that's the question today. The fake news earlier this week that took Litecoin to the stars and back to the ground in a matter of hours could turn out to be more serious than it seems, because unlike what happens in the cryptoverse, the stock market is regulated to the millimeter. According to information from Reuters, Walmart Inc. launched an investigation regarding a piece of fake news that spread through a news release distributor, Globe Newswire, claiming that the company had secured a partnership with the Litecoin Foundation to accept the crypto. In addition, Walmart Inc.'s actions, Globe Newswire said in an email that it would work with the appropriate authorities to investigate the case, blah, blah, blah. Okay, about the usual. It's very common in the world of crypto Twitter to see prices move to the beat of rumors without further investigation. Such is the nature of these markets, and traders take advantage of this lack of regulation to orchestrate manipulation schemes that go from fake ads to massive coordinated pump and dump operations. But when someone pulls a stunt like this to potentially impact the stock market, things change dramatically. This is important because Walmart is a publicly traded company, and a potential partnership could influence the company's fundamentals of risk. Yes, certainly indeed. If this fake news spreads, affects the markets, it's not enough that somebody, takes advantage of this in the crypto exchanges. This, of course, can affect, a multi-billion-dollar company like Walmart on the main market. So on the surface, the trolls' actions were aimed at spiking Litecoin's price, but it's possible to prove that by extension, they may have affected Walmart's stock prices. And of course, under the Securities Act, you can't do that, right? So,
Unless your name is Elon Musk, then you can do that.
then you're Elon, and you get away with it. News had little effect on Walmart stocks, but nonetheless, this article tries to argue that this troll could be in big trouble if regulators catch up with them. Something tells me fat chance, good luck. But nice little pump and dump on Litecoin yesterday. Never FOMO into fake news. There you go. That would be it for the Litecoin saga. Maybe they'll catch up with the guy. Go ahead.
I was going through the charts and I just passed by Litecoin and I saw that huge wick. I posted it to the group. I'm like, there's got to be some news. Like, it's just so funny how you can see, like, oh, there has to be news there. Like, that's not normal.
Yep. Pumps and then dumps, so you know it's fake news. Indeed. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the bubbles, guys. What's going on in the alt space today? That would be a look at your news. Phantom's up a little over 20%. Big day for Phantom. Not too shabby. What else is up big today? Curve Finance up nearly 17%. HBAR also one of the top gainers of today, nearly 14% over there. Then we got the likes of Cake up 11%, XEC up nearly 10%, YFI same deal, up nearly 10%, ICX also up nearly 10%, and a smattering of other coins all up about single digits, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% or more, including BSV, BNB, Cardano, Sushi, and quite a few others. So hardly a loser in between them. A few small ones, but nothing major. A little bit of profit taking, apparently, on some good movers in recent days. I think eGold, according to Bubbles, is the biggest loser today. eGold's down about 8%. All right. Well, not a bad day in the Bubbles. More recovery indeed. All right, let me just change this playlist. It's driving me nuts, guys. Hang tight. Here we go. Boom. All right, done. Off we go. All right, so there was your look at the bubbles. Let's continue into the next segment. What do we have in the audience engagement segment? Who's kicking it with us this Wednesday afternoon? Well, what do you know? Alex1233, first in the chat this afternoon. Big shout outs to Alex1233 of the live chat. Let's continue. Daniel, big shout out to Daniel. Mr. Ether says, I say we see 54K. Well, Mr. Ether, I think we might very well be on the way to 54K. The question is, how hard do we dump once we hit 54K? How many people are going to FOMO in when we cross above 50, and how many people are going to get smoked when we start plummeting from 54? I honestly, I don't try to indulge too much FUD, but I think Jason's fully onto something. I think probably Alex largely too, with maybe predicting another big correction coming up ahead. Any word, big shout outs to you. He writes, good morning, BeFree7. BeFree's back in the chat. It's nice seeing regulars coming back in. He writes, hi all. Any word, big shout outs to you. Let's see here. B-Flow, yes, B-Flow on YouTube. I read that like I've never heard of him before. Big shout outs to B-Flow. Prophet Bear says, sup CC fam. Big shout outs to Prophet Bear. Jose Alves joins us on DLive. He says, hey guys. Hey. Rokoff. Hi CC fellas. Big shout outs to Rokoff on DLive. Jordan Stotts. Hello friends. Big shout outs to Jordan Stotts. Crypto Jenny's here as well. Big shout outs to Crypto Jenny. Dark Rico. Howdy. Yes, howdy to our boy DR in the DLive chat. Mr. Ether, Alex and Jason volume compared is low compared to you two. All right, I'm gonna up those boys just a touch more. Thank you for the feedback, guys. Here we go. I just upped their volume about 10%. Let's keep it rolling. Who else we got here? Wow, they sound like you sound like 100. They sound like 50. Well, that sucks. I should have hopefully fixed some of that. Let's see here. I'm going to steal all the lemons today, says Mr. Ether. Well, good luck. Ice cream for Mr. Ether. Yes, give the ice creams out. Joe Mama. Shout outs to Joe Mama on DLive. Glad to see you back in the chat. Ask about my wiener dogs here as usual. Philly Carr. Jack tells it as it is. Well, maybe I certainly try to, guys. Try to be as forthcoming and honest with everybody here. David Rice, I'd like to talk about the conductor of this train. I have got some good ideas. Is that a reference to something? I don't know, but who is conducting this train? I do ask. Mr. Ether, okay, I heard the Twitter was hacked. Oh, whose Twitter? Oh, yeah, that's right. Walmart's Twitter was hacked. Or is it someone else's? Jack, your volume is high. Alex, Jason, volume low. Yes, I fixed that. Thank you, guys. At least I hope I did. Which train are we speaking of? Indeed, what train? Jonah, love the shows with us today. Big shout outs to you, Alex81SG. Let's see here. I see here. Crypto Rich joins us as well. Adam on YouTube, looks like the Wyckoff spring played out on low time frames. You guys think this is a good spot to hedge up? Yeah, if you're playing it safe. We'll see what our analysts think. We're going to get into the TA in just a moment. Daily baseline is coming, yes, and I feel like a rejection from it is as well. I'm never first in the chat because I have a weekly call at the same time CC goes live. Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Wiener Dog, that's no problem. You handle your business. We do ours. You can always come back when you're available. You know we do post replays, right? Ron Legato says he entered the chat at 11:53. Were you saying you're early and I didn't shout you out? Yeah, maybe I lost the chat. I opened the chat late and I didn't log your comment, but maybe indeed Ron Legato, the famous Ron Legato, was first in the chat this afternoon. Let's see here. Crypto Rich, and that's it. Big shout outs to everybody kicking it with us this Wednesday afternoon. Halfway into the month of September, the fall is drawing closer, and the next big move in the crypto markets seems ahead as well. We're going to be, what waits ahead? What excitement waits ahead? What's in store for us? Let's get into the TA. Try to answer that question. Alex, if you could be so kind, go live, and I'm going to hop in there in just a second. As for the rest of yous, the lovely people of the live chat, if you could be so kind, start dropping your requests in the chat. I'm going to start collecting them now. Connecting to Alex. Beautiful. Getting into the scene now. Here we go. Looking at the BTC/USD daily chart on BitMEX. We're all synced up. Life is good. And do enjoy this analysis. And I'll be back in a few minutes. You know what to do. Drop those requests.
Okay, guys, nothing really to report here on Bitcoin. We continue to move up towards resistance. I'm expecting a rejection from this area and move down. If we can like close back above 50K, then there's a potential we can continue. But for right now, I'm not really hopeful of it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, if we look here on the monthly, this looks to me like we're just kind of rejecting from resistance. Here's one of our resistance areas marked out. Oh, look, we're underneath it. We wicked through it and came back down below it. Of course we did. It's resistance. That's what it does. So yeah, that's my viewpoint of it. You know, a couple days of up here does not really negate the really rough downside that we've already had.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum was lagging. It's caught up a little bit this morning. We'll see that here on Ethereum Bitcoin. This actually doesn't look too bad.
They're stepping up.
I mean, we did break the downtrend.
Broke the downtrend and butted up against that past resistance that's keeping you pinned. Like I do like that break.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So that break of trend could be big. So I would wait for a higher high. If you get a higher high on that, that's likely to continue.
Yeah, we'll keep track of this, and if we break to the downside, then it's a shorting opportunity. If we break to the upside, it's a longing opportunity. Right now, below the daily baseline, I'd be a little cautious, but with time transformation turning up here and the break of the downtrend, we could move up here at least a little bit.
Yep. Now's the time to be patient.
Yeah. So previously, we were discussing that we have to remain above 3,300. If we close below 3,300 on the weekly, that's it. We're going down. But for right now, we're still above it. So to me, this looks like Ethereum has room to continue here. It's just unfortunately, it's kind of the same setup as Bitcoin. You know, we've got a break of the uptrend here, and we're underneath the daily baseline and underneath some resistance. So I'm still cautious, but Ethereum looks better than Bitcoin does. More sideways on Bitcoin dominance. Pull back today on Uniswap perp.
Could be a hanging man with bearish divergence. If it closes like that.
I mean, doesn't a hanging man have the wick to the upside because he's hanging?
I don't necessarily think it has to be higher high.
I'm not talking about a higher high. I'm talking the wick is on the upside for a hanging man. He's hanging from a rope. That's the whole point of the. Anyway, right now we're starting to get a bearish divergence here, with a lower high on our oscillator and a higher high on price. I don't know if this is gonna close. We could be testing down here and then close the day up, and if so, that would be stronger here, but just a little bit of weakness. Dragon Perp really looks like it could actually continue here. This is let's move this to here. You can see what I'm looking at. That looks like a successful retest of support to me. We even retested the local point of control. So Dragon Perp looks as if it could continue. Think Qdom, think TR Tron, several other coins here under Dragon Perp.
Is Sushi by chance?
No, Sushi's DeFi.
Sushi looks awfully like that. Well, I guess they all look, but Sushi's kind of on a tear today.
Yeah, these do all look alike. There's not much different here on DeFi Perp, a little bit stronger than Dragon Perp. Privacy Perp, incredibly weak. This does not, inspire a lot of confidence. Exchange Perp, a little better. This is also still under resistance. draw this. Not really good trend line for this one. Same story here for shit perp. We're just still underneath resistance. I'm not willing to risk it yet.
Here is a comment from Adam of the live chat. He writes, hanging man candle is the body of the candle with a long wick underneath it. The head is floating above the hanging body. So he thinks it's a long wick below it.
That's kind of more of what I understood it to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, then I stand corrected.
I don't literally think about it as a hanging body, so I'm not thinking about a head and a body hanging. I just know it as a hanging man.
So, yeah, here we're still underneath pretty heavy resistance. So support, resistance, 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 resistance. And here we are still underneath it. So until we close above 4,500, I'm not interested in mid perp. Same for alt perp, potentially finding support here, but we're still beneath really critical resistance and beneath our daily baseline. So we can't take it yet. So the way I see the markets right now is that they're kind of precariously perched, but I wouldn't be shorting this spot yet. We need to see it reject from resistance and then start to come down, and then that's really our shorting opportunity.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't happen, and then we get our longing opportunity. But one way or another, we just can't rely on this slight movement upwards yet and be like, oh, time to long.
It's also something. It's something I posted in the members on yesterday about the BTC/USD 24-hour signal that I got. Like, when I looked at it, I'm like, historically, I've gotten crushed by this signal because it just wound up too quick and then it just got rejected hard. So I won't be surprised if that scenario ended up playing out. Just like
normally with this strong a move down, you get some kind of follow through.
You get a second test, man.
Yeah, this is like a really big movement downwards, and we're not going to get not even like a second big move down, shake out the first longers,
And what we're experiencing here is just a drug out dead cat bounce.
Well, I don't know if it's not a dead cat bounce. It's got some volume, but I agree with you that it's probably just a retracement upwards before a fall.
Yeah. Go chase some waterfalls.
All right, so crypto up, dollar down, right? Dollar down.
Oh, it's slightly down. I looked at it earlier. I thought it was at 92.30. So
we appear to be rejecting from the daily baseline at this time. Time transformations crossing under. Maybe neither of us get our pattern. Maybe it just breaks down further here.
That's pretty funny.
Well, it would be awesome if it just broke down here.
Oh yeah, for all the markets for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so normally dollar down, markets up. So traditional markets up today.
The way they were yesterday.
Well, traditional markets up today.
What a fake out if that becomes a fake out.
Yeah. So right now we're still below resistance. I'm certainly not interested in catching this. If we close back above 350, then maybe we could become a long again. But for right now, I just see this as just a retest of resistance before we fall further. Maybe we push up into the end of this week, just a couple more days of up, maybe even a wick, and then we reject at the beginning of next week. Remember, the second half of September is usually a rough month for the markets. Maybe I need to redraw this. No, not like that.
Perfect.
Maybe the NASDAQ can continue here. Now, admittedly, the weekly is very rough looking. But as long as we hold the uptrend, then we could keep going. We'll know more by next week, I think, for the QQQ.
Yeah. It's getting real close to that crunch time, right?
Yeah.
Just hanging on.
Yep.
There is some bullish divergence there.
There is some bullish divergence here. Well, the line is fine. Well, I think like the QQQ, we might not know until next week here on the S&P. I don't like that we've crossed below the weekly baseline here, but it's not necessarily a death knell. It's not as if we've tuned our baseline to like a weekly moving average for this market. So maybe. All right, so world markets must also be up today. The dollar's down. It's got to be a good day across the markets. Let's take a look at them. Interesting. Finally getting a little bit of a bounce on palladium today. I think this is a good spot to be a profit taker. This interesting volume right here. I would expect palladium to probably shoot up here and wipe out shorts relatively soon. We need to retest resistance from below. I expect this to move at least all the way up to 2350. Potentially 2160, but one way or another, being a buyer here and taking it northwards is a great play in this spot.
Northwards.
Yeah. We're still ultimately looking to take palladium down towards 1700 or so, but it's never straight down, it's never straight up. So I think that's what we're going to look for here. Platinum currently hanging around in our second buy zone.
Haha.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to be a buyer for platinum. Right on our weekly, or right on our long time point of control for the market. Let's get some new trend lines here. I don't like this anymore. All right, we'll keep our eyes on these trend lines and we'll pay special attention once these start to break to the upside, then we'll know for sure. But if you're playing reversals, this is a good place to look for reversal on platinum. Silver, more sideways. I think we're looking for a bounce in this area to the upside. Gold was up yesterday, kind of got faded a little bit. I still think the play is to the upside here on gold, but we don't really have a signal, so it's probably best to just not do anything at this time. Copper, well, we're waiting for a retest of the highs right here. Have been for about a week and a half now. I think we'll get it. Breakout on Brent crude. So we dumped the hypothetical short yesterday on the break of our downtrend. As you can see, we're getting follow through here. At this time, it looks as if we're going to get more upside here on BCO. If we reject from $77 again, then it could be another decent shorting opportunity. But excellent. So after getting the retest here of Corn's local point of control, we're getting movement off of that. I would be looking for more upside here on Corn, especially if we get a break of the downtrend.
There's about to be a drought.
Yep. And here we are at our second take profit area for natural gas. We've been looking for this for a few weeks now, ever since the breakout here of $3.80. Huge move for a commodity. This is a more than 50% move. Natural gas, totally parabolic right now. I think at this point, we should be taking profits in this area and look for a retest of $4.50 from above. Presuming we get that and it holds, then I would be interested in taking natural gas to further highs. Soybeans, it's time to dump. If you're in a short, it's time to dump it here. I don't like this reversal right here at the lows. Kind of come all the way down. I'm using air quotes, we break this support level. Boom, boom, boom. Come below it into the liquidity of this low. Hang out here for several days. Push, 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 push. We can't break down. We start to move upwards back over the support level. I would probably treat this as a range trade and take it back towards the top of the range near $14.50. Sugar looks like already a successful retest of support here. We're looking for more upside, probably towards 23 cents. There we go. Nothing really to report on wheat. Australia still below resistance. Support turned resistance. Not really interested in this spot. I would much rather stay short. China retesting support right now. I would probably expect this area to hold here. France continues to look super bad here. And not the good super bad, the bad super bad.
The movie.
Look at the weekly. Ugh. Rejected.
Yeah,
Ouch.
I think you're about to grow some legs soon.
Yep. Oops, not that.
Sell your house.
Rough day for Hong Kong here. Really testing support here. I'd be considering getting out of Hong Kong here. We could break lower. UK is still below support here. Support turned resistance, or actually it's just resistance. Until we make a new high, we prefer to be short in this spot. India's continuing? Wow. Bravo, India. Bravo. This is what we were discussing. We had this break of the more parabolic uptrend here. We started to pull back. Things did look rough on India. But instead, it was reaccumulated in this spot, bought up, moved further. Japan hanging out at resistance. Netherlands. New all-time high today. Very interesting. Pretty much the last zone of support here for Singapore. Taiwan sure isn't showing a lot of strength for something that's supposed to be bullish, right?
Yeah.
It's a lower high.
Vaya Candio.
Yep. We're going to wait for just a little bit more follow through. And if we get that follow through to the downside, then we're going to double fire these missiles. We're going to add to that position.
Double.
Yep, double. Down day on bonds. Okay, good. I think we really are going to come down and retest the lows on bonds. Hanging out the local point of control for the Russell. 30-year bonds still at resistance down. You know, I just don't buy this move upwards at the end of the week, right? Look how bad this looks on the US 30 Wall Street. See, we're trapped below this resistance level. Here we are, right below it. We fall, move a little sideways, fall the rest of the way. Bad times. Okay, world markets are a little mixed. Mixed is good. They don't all look super bad. I mean, some do, but with the QQQ moving up today, the SPY moving up today, maybe we can finish the week strong and maybe all the bearishness will just go away. All we really need is the dollar to keep moving down, and then crypto can continue. World markets can continue. All right. What's the chart request?
All right, chart requests are next. There was a quick rundown of crypto and wider world markets. Big shout outs to Alex for taking us through the last 20 minutes of high quality analysis, guys. Nobody does it quite like our analysts do here on the air every day, but I'm sure I don't have to tell our audience that. They are loyal for a good reason. That's because the TA that we deliver, well, it's some of the best in the space. Let's see here. Mr. says, Jack, I hope you're not at more than 20% of your whole portfolio on those NFTs. No, I would definitely not 20%, but certainly probably a significant amount.
I think like 50% of my portfolio is NFTs right now.
Wow.
Jeez.
I too like to live dangerously, but not that dangerously. No, I only splurged.
Like balls in a vice.
I only splurged what I was willing to lose on these NFTs, which is still a considerable amount of money, but indeed, all my marbles are certainly not in an NFT basket, let alone an Ethereum basket where the NFT started. All right, he's 100% in. No, not quite, but sounds like Alex is. All right. In the meantime, everybody, let's go ahead and get into the requests. Putting the first one up on the screen, and now it comes from. Who does it come from? It comes from our boy. Ask about our wiener dog. Yes. Let's look at Tron TRX. Let's do it.
So Tron has actually been pretty strong this week. Let's look at TRX Bitcoin actually first.
Man,
So
that's
you
really-
longtime viewers know we've actually been eyeing this area on Tron for a reversal ever since we came back down towards long-term support. You can see right here. Support here in 2019, support here in 2020, 2020, support here again, 2021. Move up off that support. And we appear to be starting to close above the trading range. Do we have a broken downtrend yet? Very interesting. So looking at that, let's look again at TRX USDT. I feel like you could probably get away with taking Tron at least back up towards 14 cents. We might need to look to take profits there and wait for some kind of pullback. There we go. Yeah. So we come up to here, and we retest downwards, and maybe we continue. I think this makes sense. Well, what's next?
All right. Well, that was a look at Tron for Ask About My Wiener Dog. There is the first request of the day crossed off the list. Let's see what we have next. Doing great on time today, guys. Of course, today's the community mentorship session. It is Wednesday. I believe that's scheduled and all clear to go. Is that correct, Alex?
Yeah.
In that case, we might wind the show down a little early. Let's say quarter or maybe 20 after the hour. So we still have about 15, 20, 25 minutes left in the show. I'll open the live chest up a little early as well. In that case, let's say 10 minutes from now. All right. Introducing the next request. Polly B and Boris Bitcoin both want to look at Ren. Polly B writes, requesting Ren on the daily, please. And Boris Bitcoin writes, can I request a look at Ren? Well, Ren it is. Ooh, nice move today.
Yeah, strong move. Held the uptrend. This looks good for continuation. I think we can keep pushing towards $1. $1 is pretty strong resistance here. That's pretty strong. What's Red Bitcoin doing? Yeah, that's pretty strong. This is probably a good place to look for Ren to diverge from the rest of the market. I don't know if maybe we might need to retest down just a little bit more on Ren, but probably dips are for buying on Ren right now.
All
Yeah,
right.
I expect the dollar to be pretty strong resistance. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But if we can close above $1, then really the sky's the limit on run.
All right, brilliant. I suppose that'll complete your thoughts on Ren. In that case, we're going to get into the next one. What do we have here? It's kind of a general question from Adam. He has a few actually today. First one being, looks like the Wyckoff spring played out on lower time frames. Do you guys think this is a good spot to hedge up? I guess you've already looked at Bitcoin at the beginning of your analysis. I don't know if there's much more to add to that.
Time to be patient and wait for the opportunity to present itself, because you don't want to get caught.
He asked if there was a good time to hedge up. I mean, we are below the daily baseline. So I would agree that the closer you can hedge up to the daily baseline is better, because then if we like land back on the green side of the daily baseline, then you would want to be out of your hedge. So I agree with the question that closer to the baseline is better, just because it gives you that it's a low risk entry on the hedge. The risk is that we just we cross the rest of the way over, and then you just dump it.
All right, well, Adam, there you have it. There's a path toward your hedge plotted out right there. Let's go ahead and get into the next request. In that case, it comes from Rokoth over on DLive. Rokoth writes, "Can we look at Keep, please?" Keep Finance.
I looked at it a little earlier. It looks good. I mean, it looks like a lot of other charts. I think it's a good area to be long Keep. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Especially if we can close the week above 50 cents. If we close the week above 50 cents, Keep's going to go. It's going to pop off. Definitely. So you see 50 cents. It's critical support here. Underneath it, resistance, resistance, resistance. Breaking above it, our next target would be 75 cents, $1, and $1.50. What's next?
All right, well, that was a look at Keep. Big shout outs to Rokoth. Gonna go stock that chest on DLive in just a moment. Probably open it up in 5 minutes time. In the meantime, let's look at Crypto Rich's request. He says, "I'd like to look at MATIC." MATIC it is.
This is a nice retest of support, but it's essentially in the same place as every other alt right now. I just don't see anything really special about MATIC. What's next?
All right, nothing too special going on with MATIC. Shout out to Crypto Rich. There's your brief look at MATIC. Wayne Arnott over on YouTube writes, "Can you guys look at Orchid USDT?" Yes, OXT. We certainly can. Let's do it.
I don't really like the weekly here on OXT. Looks like a pretty firm rejection. Support, resistance. Yeah, I just wouldn't do anything with it right now while we're still below resistance and below the daily baseline. I see the potential for maybe a move up towards 60 cents, but this is weak compared to a lot of the other alts we've looked at. So I don't really see a good reason to take this over, some of the other stronger alts we've looked at. So I'm just not interested in it. What's next?
All right, big shout outs to Wayne. What's up? Jason, you about to say something?
I was just gonna say it's your boy Tezos.
It's your boy Tezos indeed. XTZ is up next on the request line. It's Wayne as well. He wants to look at XTZ USD.
Same as yesterday, man. We're still rejecting from resistance. Get the fuck out. What's next?
Well, that was quick and to the point, indeed. If you want to check out further thoughts on
nothing's changed
XTZ,
since yesterday. Literally, we're at the exact same price, exact same wicks upwards. Nothing.
hell
Get
yeah. Do check yesterday's episode if you want to take a further insight into Alex's thoughts on that particular setup. Here we go. Adam on YouTube writes, any idea why late September is bad for the markets? He asks.
No, it just is.
I think
Just historical.
I mean, maybe it's like a quarter 3 thing. I don't know. It historically is.
I figure like the traders maybe like take summer off and then they get back to work on September and it's like, all right, clear the desk, first order business, sell.
Well, like if it is like cyclical in that way, like sell in May, walk away, it would make sense that you'd get that rebound and then get sold into again by September.
Indeed, but the exact Russian reasons why, well, we may never know.
We don't know.
It's one of the great mysteries of the universe.
It was written in the stars.
Yes. All right. Next question, also from Wayne. He writes, if you have extra time, could you please look at Litecoin USD as well, please and thank you. All right. Our boy LTC.
Arguably one of the worst alts we've looked at so far.
No.
Barely any liftoff off of the support level. I don't see anything particularly interesting. I mean, we know Litecoin Bitcoin is in a good spot, but after yesterday's pump and dump, not particularly appealing at this time. And if Litecoin is going to take off, it hasn't really shown any signs of it yet. What's next?
Let that Walmart out first.
Yes, the Walmart splash. The most exciting bit of news to land in Litecoin in a while, I could swear. Which also didn't amount to anything. So, Litecoin, back to sleep. Here we go. Crypto Bull 21 wants to request Chainlink. Link it is.
Linky. Linky. Alex of the past like these. You think continuation, huh?
I mean, I think continuation after a big pullback, which we haven't gotten yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still rejecting from resistance, it looks to me. Still beneath resistance here. I don't really want it in this spot. Potential swing failure pattern here on higher time frames. I guess Link Bitcoin doesn't look too bad. We need more out of Link USDT before we're going to take it.
All right.
The markets are just like too precarious right now. What's next?
All right, we need more before we go ahead and pull the trigger on Link. But in the meantime, I'm going to introduce the next request, and then I'm going to go open the chests. You guys been warned. You have about 30 to 60 seconds to rush to your terminals and click that claim button There's your heads up. In the meantime, let's go look at the next request. What do we have here? We have We Fix Phones and Tablets, as well as Benjai of the YouTube chat. Both want to look at Hex. 1 day on the Hex. All right, daily look at the Hex. Let's do it. Get ready for that chest any second now.
We haven't broken the uptrend yet, so I say you can probably just stay in it for now. Might have gotten a blow off top last week. Not super fond of that we don't have any follow through this week. I think we'll know more by the end of this week. If we've got like a big candle down, or like if we get a bullish engulfing, then I would be pretty concerned. But for right now, I guess I just don't see any reason to dump it yet. What's next?
All right, big shout outs to our DLive chest lemon giveaway. David Rice, Right on Rice, comes in with a little over 100 lemons. Mr. Ether taking up number 2 spot with 61 lemons. And yeah, B37, big shout outs to B37, Alex33, and Franklin MC. They take the top 3, 4, and 5 spots. All right, the lemon giveaways in the bag. It's a Wednesday hump day. The show is drawing, well, to a close. We're getting there. I'm going to knock out a couple more requests, and then we're going to get out the door because we have a mentorship session to prepare for. Alex81 SG on DLive writes, can you look at Kai USDT? Kai as in, King Kai? K-A-I?
King Kai.
King Kai.
Did the chest already open?
Oh, it did, bud. Where were you? You sleeping?
Oh my god, I missed like 3. I can't.
Yeah, you're sleeping while we're baking the cake. Don't expect to get any.
Kai looks pretty good here. Nice long sideways movement here, right around our local point of control. Kind of looks like accumulation to me. You can see once we broke our uptrend, we did trend down, but we seem to have found some support here. For now, I would probably wish for just a little bit more bullish movement off of this to make sure that we don't get stuck in more sideways. But once we get it, I would probably push into the long. That's like a good long look. Okay.
All right, brilliant. There's your look at Kai. Cardia chain, indeed, is what Kai stands for. In the meantime, well, this is the last request on the board, guys. Perfect. Everything coming together for a neat little close this Wednesday afternoon. Jose Alves on YouTube writes, do we have time to look at Curve USDT, please? Well, we certainly do. CRV. Last request of the day.
Pretty strong here. I would be looking to take it towards $3.50 still. Shane, this one was so volatile we couldn't even catch it. It went from underneath the baseline to over our qualifying line. Well, Alice of the Past is very bullish about it. Let's look for some accumulation in this area and then for the movement upwards. Yeah, I really like this wick to the downside too. I would be a buyer anywhere below $2.50 if I could get it. Especially, yeah. Looks good. All right.
All right, well, that was Curve. Looks good. Big shout outs to our boy Jose Alves over on YouTube for that one. Time to bring the show to a close. Quick shout out to David Rice over on DLive. He just dropped a 1 diamond super chat in the box, writing, Mr. Ether can have them. I didn't mean to take them all. Well, Mr. Ether did take up 2nd place, but David Rice just dropped a diamond in, so I guess all is well in the world. Let's go ahead and begin to wind the show down. I'm going to put up a couple second graphics and yeah, make our way to the close. All right, as always, You know what to do, guys. If you've been here, you've been watching, you've been listening, you haven't quite yet pulled the trigger on the premium. Do you want to become, of course, an exalted systems trader, a successful trader at that? That really is the key. The key is profits. The key is knowing how to navigate these very, very volatile markets. Man, the trading education that you can get by checking out premium.com cryptocurrency is really second to none. We, of course, will teach you in the ways of the trend-following Jedi, much like you see demonstrated every day. Their force powers are wielded every day here on the stream, guys. If you like what our analysts do, you like what our traders bring to the table, if you want to learn to kind of trade like us, well, check out the school. Available at premium.cryptocurrency.com. Pathways to Profits course awaits over there, along with proprietary indicator suite. We got like a dozen indicators on TradingView, right? Well, you can access them by joining Premium. What else? We got a Premium members lounge on the Discord. We have the Wednesday community mentorship sessions. That's right. You get to chat with us one-on-one and ask your questions, valuable feedback. Great little round table we host once a week with our people. I do highly encourage you join that. Take advantage by joining premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Lastly, Discord. Discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com is, of course, the Discord home of the CC community. Namely, check out that new content channel in there, because that's where I post the timestamps and the little I tag everybody once they go live. So yeah, follow that channel if you do want to check those timestamps, or maybe check back to this YouTube video an hour after we wrap. Usually the timestamps are up right there and then. So I do encourage you to check that out if you missed any part of today's show. All right. With those formalities out of the way, I am ready to get out of here. Let's go, boys. Out the door we go. Final words.
Trade safely.
Yep, trade safely. Don't get too. I'd say just sit on your hands and let the market prove where it wants to go. You'll always get a retracement either way back to get back in. So just be patient with it, guys.
All right, well said. Much love to you guys, Mr. Ether. Thank you. Yes, we did fill the chat with donations. A lot of thank yous coming out from the audience. Great show, great entertainment, and of course, peace out, guys. Thank you. An overwhelming thank yous and goodbyes. So we'll see you tomorrow. The Thursday installment of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update comes your way in about 24 hours. See you at the mentorship session. Peace out.
Bye.
Goodbye.